Welcome to JForrest English. I'm Jennifer, and today you're going to add 10 advanced phrasal verbs to your vocabulary. Now, first, I'm going to quiz you to see how well you know these phrasal verbs, but don't worry because after the quiz, I'll explain each phrasal verb in detail. Let's get started. Question 1. With food prices increasing, it's getting more expensive to... Now, I'll only show you each question for 3 seconds, so hit pause, take as much time as you need, and when you're ready to see the answer, hit play. To eat out. Question 2. It's frustrating when someone, because English isn't your first language, talks down to you. Question 3. Traffic is noisy and I can't hear you very well. Can you speak up? Question 4. You should try to with your cousin. Family comes first. Work it out. Question 5. Do you have a table in the shade? The sun is on us right now. Beating down. Question 6. The politician needs to a lot of support for his proposal. Drum up. Question 7. Can you help me? The living room before the guests arrive. Tidy up. Question 8. I know you were, but my divorce is a sensitive topic for me. Joking around. Question 9. She claims she slept through the robbery, but that doesn't add up. Question 10. 2. We need to cut expenses by 20%. To sum up. So how did you do with that quiz? Don't worry if it was difficult because now I'm going to explain every phrasal verb in detail. And if you really want to get comfortable with phrasal verbs so you can sound fluent and advanced and understand native speakers, then I highly recommend the Finally Fluent Academy. This is my premium training program where we study native English speakers from TV, movies, YouTube, and the news so you can improve your listening skills and add the most common phrasal verbs, idioms, and expressions to your speech. And you'll have me as your personal coach. You can look in the description below for information on how to join. And now let's review these phrasal verbs in detail. Phrasal verb number 1, to add up. We use this phrasal verb to say that something seems reasonable or likely. And the something is usually a story, an explanation, or a reason. So let's say your coworker took a week off of work because she had to care for her sick mother. But then she comes back to the office a week later and she's really tanned and it's winter. You might say, something doesn't add up. Her story doesn't seem reasonable or likely. Something doesn't add up. If she was taking care of her sick mother, why does she have a tan? I bet she took the week off to go to the beach, to go on vacation. To beat down. This is a very simple but useful phrasal verb. We use this phrasal verb only with the sun when the sun is shining very strongly. So if you're sitting on a patio and it's sunny outside and it's really, really hot, you can say, wow, it's really beating down. It being the sun. If you say it, you don't have to define the subject, the noun, as the sun because we always use this phrasal verb with the sun, so it's not necessary. And the context of sitting on a patio on a sunny day is all you need. So it's really beating down. Now, you can use an object and say us. It's really beating down on us. Notice I have to add an extra preposition, on. Beat down on someone or something. You can use a something. You might say, you should move your laptop. The sun is really beating down on it, on your laptop. And that's not very good for your electronics, right? So you should put your laptop in the shade. Number 3, to tidy up. This is when you organize or arrange things in the right place. So you can take a bedroom, an office, a kitchen, any individual room, or you could take an entire house even, and you might say, this weekend I need to tidy up, or this weekend I need to tidy my office up. So you're going to go in your office and you're going to put all the things, the objects, in the right place. So this is a very useful phrasal verb. Number 4, to talk down to. When you talk down to someone, you talk to them in a way that makes them feel less intelligent than you or less important than you. So this is a negative phrasal verb. This often happens with adults and children. Adults and teenagers, parents and teenagers. A teenager might complain, or a young adult might complain, that their parents always talk down to them. They talk to them in a way that makes them feel less intelligent or less important. This often happens in the workplace, especially with someone in a higher position and someone in a lower position. That someone in a higher position might talk down to that person, even though that person has a lot more experience than them. And there's no reason to do that. So this is used in a negative way, but it commonly happens. So you'll hear this phrasal verb a lot when people are complaining about other people. Number 5, to sum up. This means to summarize the main points. We commonly use this phrasal verb when you're ending a presentation or a speech in your conclusion, when you want to summarize. So at the end of your presentation, you might say, to sum up, if we want to increase our profits, we need to diversify our product line. So that's the main point of your presentation. You elaborated on that main point, and now you're saying to sum up, to summarize. So this is an excellent phrasal verb to add to your business vocabulary to sound very advanced, professional, and natural. Number 6, to joke around. When you joke around, it means what you're saying shouldn't be taken seriously. You're just joking. You're just being lighthearted. You're just having fun. But we commonly use this to reassure someone. So you might say, oh, don't get mad. I was just joking around. So maybe you were making comments about someone in a lighthearted way, but they took it seriously. And you reassure them, don't get mad, I was just joking around. Now, sometimes you might tell someone you shouldn't joke around about job loss. So maybe somebody is making comments about other people losing their jobs and they're not taking it very seriously. But you want that person to know that's inappropriate. That's a serious topic. You shouldn't joke around about job loss. It's affected many people. Number 7, to eat out. This simply means to eat in a restaurant. So rather than saying, last night I went to a restaurant for dinner, we just simply say, last night I ate out. Last night I ate out, which means I ate in a restaurant. This morning I ate out before work. So because it's morning, obviously we're talking about breakfast. So you can use it for any meal of the day. So you might suggest to your friend, if you want to save money, you should stop eating out. You should stop eating out all the time. So you should stop eating in restaurants because, of course, it's more expensive. So this is an excellent phrasal verb to add to your daily vocabulary to sound like a native English speaker. Number 8, to drum up. Now, when you drum something up, it means you increase support or interest in someone or something. So let's say your company introduced a new product, but sales are lower than expected. Your boss might suggest everybody meet to brainstorm ways to drum up interest. So to increase interest, to drum up sales, to increase sales. So if you put drum up before the noun, it just means increase. Let's drum up support. Increase support. Drum up enthusiasm, increase enthusiasm. Number 9, to speak up. When you speak up, it means you speak more loudly. So right now I'm talking at this volume, but maybe you could say, Jennifer, I'm having a hard time hearing you. Can you speak up? Can you increase the volume of your voice? And I'll say, sure, I can speak up, and then I'll speak more loudly. So this is an excellent phrasal verb for a language learner because often you don't understand someone the first time, and part of the problem might be that they're speaking too quietly. So you can say, can you speak up? Can you please speak up? Or do you mind speaking up? And then the other person will speak more loudly. Number 10, to work out a problem or a situation. This means that the problem or situation becomes better. It improves. So let's say you're having a conflict with your boss. Your coworker might say, don't worry, I'm sure you'll work it out. Work it out. The it being the situation, the problem, the conflict. I'm sure you'll work it out. I'm sure it will improve. I'm sure it will become better. We also use this with problems in general, not specific to conflicts. So let's say you lost a lot of money in the stock market. That's a problem. But your friend can say, don't worry, I'm sure it will work out. So it being the situation that you lost a lot of money. I'm sure it will all work out in the end. So that is a very common expression that native speakers use to reassure someone that a situation, a problem, a conflict will improve. I'm sure it will all work out in the end. Now that you're more comfortable with these phrasal verbs, how about we do that exact same quiz again so you can see how well you've improved. Here are your questions. Hit pause and take as much time as you need, and when you're ready, hit play to see the answers. Here are the answers. Hit pause, compare the answers to your own, and whenever you're ready, hit play. So what was your score on that second quiz? Share that in the comments below. And don't forget to download this free speaking guide where I share 6 tips on how to speak English fluently and confidently. You can download it from my website for free right here. And why don't you get started with your next lesson right now?